Get your plant questions answered live.
The number to call is 270-9933. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company joins us now. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, how are you guys today?
Looks like you're in a snow globe. That's a pretty shot there with the snow in the background.
Yeah, there is a lot of snow out. We were just listening to a short course on the fact that we'll probably see a lot of snow mold in your lawns this year because we've had so much snow.
Does this extended cold affect other plants at all?
Well, sure. I mean, things like especially broadleaf evergreens and some evergreens where things are exposed. Anything that you have planted in your yard that's a little bit on the edge of its hardy zone, Japanese maples, magnolia flowers, any kind of exotic things that you have, you might have some issues this year. But we'll just wait and see.
Well, it's always something.
That's all we can do.
All right, let's go to the calls. We'll start with Carrie. Hi, Carrie. What's your question?
Hi, I have a Christmas tree in a bucket, we buy at the store for it's 2 feet tall, and the needles are all falling off. We have it indoors. We use it for our small Christmas tree. We have plans of putting it outside to plant in the spring, but last year the plant died right away. When we put it outside, it was just dead. So what can we do different this year? How often should we be watering this thing? It just keeps dying.
Really, the prep work should have done before you brought it into the house. So having a Christmas tree in your house is a really kind of romantic idea, but here in the upper Midwest, when the winters get as cold as they do, you can have it in your house for 2 or 3 days, and then it has to go back outside. The minute the new buds break, so it's the minute the new foliage starts to open up, it's too late to put it back outside. And evergreens really aren't acclimated for indoors. They like a bright, sunny, but super cool location, which is hard to do in your house. So if you want to try it again next year, touch base with us, I don't know, say end of September, and we can give you some tips for helping that one maybe be a little more successful. But probably this one, it's probably going to be the same thing that you had last year.
Lost cause.
All right.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Oh, sorry about that. Let's go to Janet. Hi, Janet. You're next. What's your question?
Hi. I started a peony hedge about 3 years ago, and last year I only had one big blossom on most of the plants, and I was wondering if it needs feed or what I can do to encourage more blossoms.
Well, one thing you want to do is if you have that hedge, that area mulched heavily, you want to pull that mulch away from the plants themselves. Peony buds, the buds are set on those root-like structures, and you can only have about 1.5 inches, at most 2 inches of soil over the top of those eyes or buds. And when you start piling mulch up and you think that's a really good idea to sort of protect the plant's roots, what you're doing is you're adding more weight onto those buds. So the first thing you should do is pull that away. Then the second thing you can do is I would just do sort of a bloom booster fertilizer, something granulated for flowers, and see if that will help. They also need a lot of sun.
Okay. Let's go to Lana now. Hi, Lana. What's your question?
I have a lime tree, and it has 2 little limes on there, and I need to know if I should start fertilizing, and if so, what kind of fertilizer and how often.
Well, you could start fertilizing now. Days are getting longer, light is brighter. What you want to use is a fertilizer that's for acidic plants. And so when you go to the garden center, it might say for citrus or for camellias or gardenias. That's the fertilizer that you want to use. And as far as how often, the directions you should read the directions. It'll vary from fertilizer to fertilizer. If you happen to have some uracid, which is the Miracle Grow acidic version of fertilizer, that will help in the short term, but you really want to get something granular that you put in the soil.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to David. Hi, David. What's your question?
We bought a flowering cactus about 3 years ago, and it hasn't flowered since. I don't know if there's something we can give it or if they don't flower very often.
Flowering cactus are usually, like the Christmas cactus, are dependent on day length. And so as days shorten, that really spurs them to flower. So what you'll want to do is Oh, I would say around the middle to late September. Put it in a room that you're not using every day, particularly at night. So you want it to be in a place where when the room gets dark, it stays dark. It's not someplace where you've got lights on till 9, 10 o'clock. And that should help. So bright sunny window in a room where you are not occupying it at night.
All right. We are out of time. Thank you all for calling in. Lisa, thank you for your time. Warmer temperatures on the way.
Woohoo!
All right.
Thanks, Lisa.
We'll see you next time. We'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.